Molly and Sally.
Hey, Money. Yeah, this set just got a whole lot classier, smarter, more sophisticated. We took him from the outhouse to the penthouse, as you guys have been calling it, up here in the social media command center. Yes, we are. Who is better than us, Harbaugh style? Sully, we're going to go through your top 5 cornerback prospects. I know this is a fluid situation and probably changing as you're watching some of these guys. But let's kick it off with number 5. Who do you have?
First of all, let's talk about the defensive backs because they are what we call the decathletes of the National Football League. Speed, power, height. But let's go with Ronald Darby. I moved him up recently after posting that 4.32 in the 40 this morning. He went through all his drills very well, and I think he showed wonderful footwork, hips, ball skills showed up pretty good. He's the kind of guy that you can put in the slot against some of the fast twitch, smaller receivers in the National Football League, the Wes Welkers, the Julian Edelmans, and he'll be able to stick and stay with many of those guys. And so look at it. He moves really well and tremendous speed. I think he moved up, at least on my top 5, past P.J. Williams, his teammate at Florida State.
Yeah, and obviously eyes have been on him for a while. ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year when he first got into that program, and obviously we know how heralded it is. At number 4, which way are we going?
I would go with Marcus Peters from Washington. Here's a guy that's got a high skill level in terms of his all-around ability. Now, he had to be suspended for disciplinary reasons at Washington. That's why you're going to see his draft grade come down a bit. But he can do everything. He can high point the ball. He's a willing tackler, very physical player with all-around skills. Didn't run as good of a 40 time as I would have liked to have seen today. Checked in around 4.5. He's got to get that time better if he's going to be a true man-to-man corner in the National Football League.
He has quite a mentor, though, from Oakland, and he said that Marshawn Lynch, he refers to him as his cousin. That's a good friend and mentor to him, right? You could learn a few things.
That's right.
Sally, who's rounding out the top 3?
Kevin Johnson from Wake Forest. One might
Demon
say
Deacons
that's
in the
right.
house.
And when you talk to many of the scouts, Molly, he's one of the most polished corners in the NFL draft. He can do it all. He's got tremendous field awareness. He can play bump, press man-to-man. He can play from off position, good pattern reader in terms of understanding combination routes, a tremendous football IQ. Would like to see him run a really good time. He was right around 4.5 as well. I know in his pro day they're going to ask him to run again. Would like to see that number again come down to around 4.4, but his tape speaks for itself. A tremendous body of work.
Who do we have at number 2?
At number 2, how about if we go with Jalen Collins from LSU?
Question for you on him.
Yeah.
What's up with the mask?
Well, that's all about.
I know Marshawn Lynch has worn one this season.
That's what we call preconditioning. You're getting warmed up. Got to get the oxygen flow to the lungs. So what it does, it restricts the oxygen flow to the lungs. So you got to really work to breathe hard. But you don't have to work to get this done. A very good tackler, plays well in space, really confident player. So he's a physical player, plays with great confidence in terms of his man-to-man coverage abilities. And today, I thought during the workout, he showed fluid hips and what we call sweet feet. You got to have sweet feet if you're going to play at the second level in the secondary. And there you see wearing that mask.
Yeah, 9 pass breakups at LSU. But the mask, I think I just found it so interesting. Yeah, we've seen Marshawn because we just don't see a lot. We don't see a lot of guys do that.
It restricts the airflow to the lungs. You really got to work hard. But what it does, it forces the lungs to open up. You're really straining the lungs to get them working for you. It's just sports science. You know, it's defensive backs. We kind of know what we're doing. We got to be able to do a lot of things to survive in the NFL.
If you run into me in the grocery store or anything, don't be surprised if you see one of those on.
That would scare most people out of that grocery store.
You're right. And we won't go there. There's other reasons why. All right, number 1.
Trey Wayans.
Yes.
I think he solidified his place on top of the board for most scouts and for most NFL teams. Laid down a 4.32 40 in his 40-yard sprint today. And here's a guy that can play to the wide side of the field, the short side of the field. He did some of everything playing opposite of Darqueze Dennard last year, who was a first-round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. You could expect his name, I think, to be the first called among the defensive backs, on draft day. He's an excellent tackler. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you like tough, physical defenders on the back end of your defense, Trey Wayans would be a good fit I think you can check all the boxes for him now that he laid down this great 40 time.
Interesting note on him, his best friend, he grew up in Wisconsin, is Melvin Gordon, the running back.
You do your homework.
I
like
do.
that.
I do. I try.
More than just a pretty face.
Oh, thank you. Clearly don't know as much as this guy, though, so thank you so much. And I just want to also mention Trey Waynes and Marcus Peters, both in our Combine face-off. So weigh in on those. It's the Combine face-off. Who is going to run against Richard Sherman? Solly, thank you so much. Now we send it down to the outhouse, or